Hey, what's going on, everyone, over on the Crypto Kings YouTube channel? My name is Rob, and I'm here to talk about some exciting crypto news, some SHIB news with you guys here today, some bullish news, some would say, and some things to be looking forward to in the future of SHIB here coming up in the next week or so. So let's dive straight into it here. I don't know if you guys have been looking on Twitter and Reddit in the last few days, but there's been a lot of talk about this July 20th date in the community, both on Reddit and on Twitter. And essentially, what this date is a prediction of a spike in price that will happen on July 20th, and you're probably asking what's so special about July 20th. And there's actually going to be a party for Shiba Inu hosted by cryptocurrency influencers, kind of talking about the coin. Some of the biggest Twitter influencers will be there, and kind of may invoke some price action, just because they're having this conversation, and all their following will be paying attention to this little party for SHIB that's going to be going on here. So this obviously comes after the ShibaSwap launch, which went over pretty well, and obviously caused a little bit of a spike for the coin, which has since fallen off from that original price, or what that price was after ShibaSwap came out. But this party, I think, will spike the price a little bit. I've seen some very bullish numbers like 50%, 75%, 300% on Reddit and such, but I really don't think that could happen. But I do think that we could see a significant movement in price, just because of the volume of the money that was left on the ShibaSwap exchange was insane, right? So there's a lot of people with a lot of money in this, and I think that there's going to be some eyes surrounding this kind of conference slash party, that I definitely think will have some effect on the price. How much so, I really cannot say. But I do think this is something to keep your eye on. Definitely, be checking your Twitter timeline, because I do think that this is going to be something good for the coin, kind of long term. And I hope that they continue to hold these kind of events and conferences, because I do think that this invokes kind of not community sentiment, but it does build better community sentiment, and it builds community engagement as well. So let's kind of take a look here. Let's zoom out at the 7-day chart. Now, obviously, we are red since the ShibaSwap launch. And we've kind of seen a major sell-off here, but we've actually rebounded pretty nicely here, coming back up to the 7.5 mark, which, if you guys follow Shiba, has been one of the technical analysis points that I've seen a lot of anchor points around. And I will show you guys a chart here in a few minutes that kind of better outlines the future price action of Shiba than I could ever do personally. But when you kind of zoom out on the 1 month chart, you kind of gain perspective. I've heard a lot online, when in doubt, just zoom out. And I do still think that this is a promising outlook for SHIB. I do think that we could see a 1, 2, 3, a fourth peak coming up here at some point. Now the actual price target for that peak or the technical analysis, not so much up my alley. But I do definitely think we could see something like that in the coming days or weeks, depending on the way the conference goes, or the party. I should stop saying conference. The way the party goes for Shiba, and kind of what the community sentiment is coming out of that event. So there was a few other things that kind of went on in the Shiba community over the last few days. So I have seen a decent amount of people, both in our comment section and on Twitter, talking about the ShibaSwap launch, and why it was quote unquote a failure or whatever else. But at the end of the day, I really do not think that it is, and I do think that if you're willing to leave your money on the exchange and accumulate, I do think that there is a lot of money to be made here, and I definitely think that people are kind of overhyping the downtrend that SHIB has experienced in this last week, and kind of playing down the effect that Bitcoin and Ethereum have on the price of SHIB, because obviously we both know that the Ethereum pair has been trading a little bit lower, now actually just under 2,000. Last time I checked it, it was above 2,000. So this is pretty insane. So we are under $2,000 Ethereum again. Now Bitcoin also is kind of, we all know, is pretty much down 32,000. Obviously that's been its kind of point of resistance now for a few weeks. But definitely people are underestimating the effect that this has, especially Ethereum, on the SHIB token. Obviously, SHIB being an ERC-20 token running on the Ethereum network, it is going to follow Ethereum to some extent, right? So I don't think that there's this that there should be this massive concern about the downtrend in the price of SHIB since their launch of ShibaSwap. Just being that the Ethereum price is down, and when that decides to rebound, and when the online sentiment is better for Ethereum, because let's be honest, we all still believe in the fundamentals of Ethereum, so we know this price will go up again. So there's a pretty decent chance the SHIB price will follow that at some point. That was kind of one Reddit post that I saw talking about the ShibaSwap price action afterwards, and why people are concerned. But I definitely don't think it's something to be overly concerned about. So this is actually the little bit of technical analysis I wanted to show you guys. for this video, even though we don't really do a ton of it on this channel. But I did see a guy, or this was an article actually talking about a Fibonacci retracement level. Now, if you guys aren't familiar with technical analysis, that's a term used a decent amount. And essentially what that is just a term for re-breaking through old resistance lines on an up bounce, on a double. It seems like a double up bounce here that they have predicted. So I do think that there is a decent chance for that to happen, but there would have to be a catalyst, and that's why I'm making this video to kind of detail the catalyst. It could be this conference slash party, depending on the amount of eyes that were on this. Now, this article, as opposed to this other one I showed earlier, is a little bit more negative. It actually talks about the potential for a rug pull, but I definitely don't see that as something that could be that would happen, as the ShibaSwap platform as well as Shiba Inu was also audited by the Certic platform. And actually found to be somewhat legitimate. So I do find that pretty encouraging for the future of SHIB, and I do think that this technical analysis could be somewhat accurate and could lead to a decent price movement in the next few days. Now, obviously, this article also talks about some of the potential movements that could happen with this upcoming conference and why it could go up. Some people are saying 50%, although I don't really know if that's true, but I do think it could go up. And people are talking about kind of the influencer sentiment around this. So this was actually the tweet that kind of kicked it off. Shaitoshi saying, "I'm so excited to announce that we're throwing a virtual Shiba Inu party in 2 weeks featuring an amazing DJ set." And this actually got 6.5 thousand likes. So depending on who's seeing this could actually influence the price a little bit more than you guys would probably expect. As obviously Twitter doesn't always have the biggest effect on the kind of price, because a lot of money that we have unaccounted for. People that just aren't on Twitter, people that strictly read articles about SHIB and buy based on that. So I do think that there's a chance this could move the price a little bit, maybe not necessarily 50%, but definitely a decent movement, right? So I'm not gonna sit here and talk about the insane 300x that Shiba could do after this, but I do think that there is something to be said about this, right? So I kind of wanted to detail one more piece of news before we end this video off here. So I wanted to talk about the community push that's been going on with these NFTs for getting Shiba on more platforms, and what this would obviously do for the coin. So there's a few different kind of campaigns going on right now on the Shiba Army Reddit. There's one to get Shiba listed on Robinhood. There's also another one to get it listed on Webull. And I do think that these are both pretty interesting concepts, as we do see it listed on Coinbase and Binance and a few other platforms, and I don't think this is as far-fetched as people believe it is. I think this is more up Robinhood's alley than it is up Webull's alley. But I do think that there is I do think there's a decent chance we could eventually see this, and obviously this would have insane moves on the price, as we could see, in almost new highs reached. But I do think that's definitely possible if it were to be listed on exchanges like that. So overall, guys, that's really all I have for you guys today. I kind of just wanted to make an update video talking about the sentiment that I've seen on Reddit and Twitter after the ShibaSwap launch. And I don't think everyone knows about this party yet that's going to be happening with this DJ set, and they're going to be doing a few giveaways as well, I believe. So I just kind of wanted to kind of lighten the mood in the community right now, and kind of maybe shine a light on this event that's going to be happening that has a decent chance of moving the price depending on what happens. So yeah, guys, that's really all I have to talk about today. We have some affiliate links down in the description if you wanted to sign up for Binance and Coinbase, if you want to get started in some crypto investing, getting into some Shiba, join the community. So I'll see you guys in a future video. It's been Rob. Peace.